We're trying to find a way. Time for another lesson in longevity as part of our brand new Turn Back Time series dedicated to helping you live longer and healthier.
Yeah, well, today we're dissecting diet, revealing the best and worst foods for the fountain of youth.
Let's get some more. We're crossing live to London now with nutritionist Sarah Ann Macklin. Great to see you. You've put together sort of the ultimate longevity shopping list for us with different foods hidden under these covers along here. Let's go for the first one now. Under here, we've got beans. Talk us through why these are so special.
Hi guys, so nice to be here. So beans is definitely one of the top longevity foods that I picked out. Now, just to say, it's really hard to pick these out because most of this is observational data, but when we look at the research, there's really specific dietary patterns that occur, and beans is like the gold star of this. Now, I don't know if you've watched the Blue Zones documentary by Dan Buettner, but he studied the longest living populations in certain regions of the world, and the biggest staple in all of their diets of these long-living people up to centenarians were beans. So beans was the biggest staple, and if we think about why, they're rich in plant proteins, they help reduce our bad cholesterol, that LDL cholesterol, and they're also really rich in fibre, which our gut microbiome absolutely loves, and that's where all of our immune cells have held. And additional to all of those amazing health benefits, they're just really cheap. You can put them in your store cupboard, and they're very versatile.
Yeah, we've got red kidney beans there and black beans. We're going to move along to the second one. Next we have, ta-da!
Oh.
Green tea.
Good one.
How does this help?
So I couldn't come on here and not include tea because I'm British, so that had to be on this list. But when you look at the research, green tea is the star of the teas when it comes to this and longevity. So what you want to be thinking about when you're choosing green tea is having at least 3 to 4 cups of green tea minimum a day to see these beneficial health effects. Yes, so you can have beneficial weight loss, reduction in cardiovascular diseases as well as very good blood pressure control. So, and you'll fantastic benefits.
You'll keep your steps up because you'll be going to the toilet a lot.
Very good. Excellent pouring. Let's have a look under this. I think we're going to find ourselves some walnuts. They look like brains and they help our brains.
They do. They are fantastic for our brains and also for our hearts. So walnuts, but any nut is great. But we actually know that walnuts are kind of the standout nut as well, and they can add 3 years onto your life, which is quite amazing. They're a really good healthy snack. They don't just reduce your LDL, your bad cholesterol, but they actually help increase your good cholesterol, your HDL. And we know from very long Harvard studies that people that ate a handful of walnuts every day lived longer, healthier lives. So just one handful of walnuts a day can make a big difference.
I was going to taste one of those, but there is a box down the end that says Larry hands off. So I'm waiting for that because I reckon that's going to be the good stuff.
OK, our second last squash as we reveal olive oil.
Yeah. So you've probably heard of the Mediterranean diet, and it's kind of known for its numerous health benefits and reducing a lot of chronic diseases. But olive oil is like the gold star in the Mediterranean diet. And the reason why is because it's full of this healthy monosaturated fat, which is amazing for our heart and also keeping kind of our blood cholesterols in check. So always drizzle that on all of your dinners. Amazing health benefits.
Great hand modelling there, Kylie, must be said. Can you mix and mash? If we don't have a lot of time to do the oil, and can you cover your beans in oil and do it that way?
Yeah, you can. Why not?
OK, the last one, Laurie?
Oh, Kylie, thank you for allowing me to do this. This is the last one, and that is, of course, little hairy fruit.
Your kiwi.
Kiwi fruit.
So this one... This one might surprise you. This is very good for your DNA. So what we know that 3 kiwis a day can reduce your DNA damage by 60%, but it also can increase your DNA repair by 66%. So this little fruit is quite phenomenal. So chop it up and put it on your breakfast in the morning. And it's also packed with vitamin C, and it's very, very rich in fibre, which we talk a lot about as well.
So if you don't want the CSI people to find your DNA, just ease up on the kiwi fruit.
And lastly, this one says, Larry, do not touch. So, I better do it. Hang on. Oh, so what's this? I like this food group.
Well, I can't see what you're seeing, so you're going to have to explain to me.
We're avoiding the cold cuts. There's beers and biscuits.
This is foods to avoid.
Okay, your foods to avoid. Okay, so what have you got there? Some cold-cut deli meats, I can imagine.
Yes, and some
soft drinks.
Looks like some very appetising biscuits and some fruit juices.
Okay, so this is, so the ultra-processed food. So this is the stuff that we all love. And actually 2/3 of our shopping baskets are full of this, surprisingly. It's kind of the main dominant factors of the Western diet, not the Mediterranean diet, that gives us all these health benefits. So these deli-cut meats that you're seeing there, they're actually now labelled as a Group 1 carcinogenic food by the World Health Organization. So we have to be really careful with how much we eat of these, it can really dramatically increase our cancer risk. And then if you think about just generally these foods, they're very high in sugar, and when we're looking at longevity, we want to be having good blood glucose control. And these sugary foods, these cereals, these sweets, these things that taste so delicious absolutely wreak havoc with our blood sugar and cause a lot of inflammation. So moderation is key with these.
What about if I took a nut, like a healthy nut, and I put it upon the chocolate biscuit, then I dipped it gently in the beer?
That's not beer, actually. It's mango juice. That's why I had
and put some oil on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd see these longevity effects, but you can give it a go and see what it's like. See, tell me if it's good.
Thank you. Look, don't go anywhere, because after the break, Sarah is sticking around and she's going to reveal her top 3 foods that will change your life.
Don't eat these, kids. Nutritionist Sarah Ann Macklin has very kindly stuck around and is about to tell us her top 3 life-changing foods. OK, first up, sardines. Now, people can sometimes be put off by these guys, but you stress we need to be including them. Why?
Yes, we should be having them at least once to twice a week. Well, fatty fish in general. So the reason why I chose these is because they're rich in something called essential omega-3 fatty acids. But the word essential is really important because we have to consume them because you can't make them in our bodies. And so we can only get these omega-3 essential fatty acids from fatty fish. And they're amazing for our brain health. 25% of our cell membranes are made of these. And also for our heart health as well. Now, the reason why I chose sardines was a little bit controversial because you just said something there, you know, people will be put off because they're a very fishy fish, but they're actually the lowest in mercury. And I know a lot of people are scared about mercury levels in fish, so I chose one of the smallest ones. And also you can buy amazing tin sardines for half the price, so they're also very economical as well.
Great to know.
They're very oily. Next. Ta-da!
Next.
Greens.
Is that the greens?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it's probably no common surprise, but I had to put these in there because when we think about a healthy diet, we really want, and you can tell me if you do this, but half of your plate should be full of these green vegetables that you see there in front of you. And that's for a variety of reasons. They're really rich in fibre, but when we think about the Mediterranean diet, this is one of the main things that we see. And we know that for our gut health, which is where all of our immune cells are located, and the importance of it, it really wants a diversity of these greens and these plant foods. So when you're thinking about health, try and include as much diversity of these greens as possible.
All right, now, finally, spices. Any sort of spice in... Kylie, please unveil the spices.
Right. I was waiting for the cue.
You're really good at that, and you've got freshly tanned hands, so it works out. Sarah, spices, talk us through.
Yeah, spices. So do you know what my #1 rule, guys, when it comes to nutrition is it's got to be fun and you've got to enjoy it. So spices is actually a really fun thing to add into your store cupboard and when you're cooking. So every day when I'm cooking, I'm adding different spices. So you think about garlic, it's antimicrobial. You think about cinnamon, it lowers your blood pressure. So adding that on your oatmeal or your porridge in the morning. Turmeric has got a very active component called curcumin in it, and that is very anti-inflammatory. So think about all of these things when you're cooking because it has really big additional health benefits as well.
You know so much about food. Like, when you sit down to eat a meal, are you just thinking antioxidants, or do you actually enjoy your food?
Do you know what? The #1 thing when I go to any dinner party is I do not say I'm a nutritionist because I'll get all these questions all night.
We could talk to you all day. We could talk to you all day, but we've got to eat these sardines. Lovely to chat. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.